YouTube? Hope you guys are all freaking doing well. I certainly am. It is 5 or 4 in the AM, slightly behind schedule, but we are off to do morning freaking cardio as per the usual. So, 30 minutes on the bike. Gonna go smash this. Hopefully, not wake anybody up. Hopefully, I'm the first one in there. We'll have it all to ourselves. Woke up this morning, weighed in at 166.8. Feeling pretty light, to be honest. Bathroom movement's consistent, which is all that freaking matters. You guys know what I'm talking about. So get in there, do the cardio, get a meal on about 20 minutes in, then we'll be freaking out of there. On to a little bit of walk and talk today, because we're not freaking lifting. It's a Sunday, rest day. Let's get it. Come on, tell me this doesn't look familiar. Been a while, but still here. What is up, YouTube? I can't really start with that, can I? Because I already started the day earlier, but back here to get a little walk and talk going for the rest day. Today's a Sunday, no lift today, although the gym is in the background. We are just freaking walking. Man, today's been a long day. Got up 4:45 as per usual, and then basically just worked all day on a little something that I'm trying to get out soon. Hopefully, by the end of today, but it's always tough to finish up a project you've been working hard on because it takes time. And then, it's ready to go out to the world and you're like, damn, kind of want to work on it a bit more. But I wanted to talk about building a business because this is something that's always been on my mind basically since, senior year of high school. And I feel like it's a very personal journey that also at the same time is very adjacent to fitness. For me, I'm trying to kind of do both, two in one. But the act of just being in the gym and orchestrating your own workouts, your own progress, it's a lot like building a business in that you are in full control of your own success or failure. You're trying to build something up from nothing, from no experience, and make it a freaking enterprise, a success, this grand achievement. And in a lot of ways, I think it's a battle physically and mentally all in the same. If you're trying to build a entrepreneurial success, any sort of venture, you're really wrestling with yourself in the same way that when you go to the gym every single day, you're wrestling with your ability to push harder and go farther and learn from your mistakes and actually create something, right? It's an act of creation. I mean, that's the whole, on a physical level, anabolism, putting on muscle, being anabolic. Everyone talks about it yay to yay, but you're really creating something. I mean, you're synthesizing new cells, you're growing, getting more mass. It's pretty kind of awesome if you think about it. But it's very adjacent to building a business, man, to building anything. And so, I've been spending hours, basically 12 hours a day minimum, working on this project, which I love. I love it. At the same time, there's so much of yourself that you put into something like this. And it's like, you're really betting on it succeeding. Because if it doesn't, well, in a way, it's like a lot of life force you kind of thrown into this enterprise. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of just yapping here, but I think what I'm trying to say intrinsically is that the act of building a business is a lot like growing yourself in that it's reciprocal. When you go to gym, when you put on muscle, you're not only growing physically, but you are growing mentally. You're pushing the limits of your brain, of your growth, of your ability to push yourself and actually, gain respect for having gotten to a position that is entirely within your control. If someone loses a bunch of weight, someone loses 100 pounds, someone puts on 20 pounds of muscle, you can never take that from them, right? I mean, even if they're on steroids or something, I mean, I don't know, people say it's easier. Probably is a lot easier, but you're still in the gym every day, I mean, I don't know. You wouldn't want to do steroids unless you want to compete. I don't think I'm ever going to do them because it's like, just kind of scary. Your balls shrink and stuff, I'm pretty sure, but I guess I'm going to have to censor this video. I don't know. But man, it's just like, you put in the work. No one can take that from you, right? In the same way that, when you are an entrepreneur, You are in full control of if you succeed or fail. You're not working for someone else. There's something that's very appealing about that to me because it's like, when you're working for someone else, if you're salary, even if you're not salary, you're on commission, right? Then it gets a little bit different. But even if you're like, you go to school, get a degree, if you end up working for someone else, how much of that success is tied to you or the company you're working for, right? And I feel like for me, that's always been a thought. It's always been a point of, I don't want to say contention, but like attraction with the opposite, which is you're actually fully in control of whatever venture you choose, which is like the more traditionally like entrepreneurial sort of path, right? And so for me, it's like the idea of creating a business, creating a venture, adding value to the world, and it's all self orchestrated, like it's all from you. That's pretty damn awesome. Like no one can ever take that from you, from having created and become successful, through that method of sort of trial and error. I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. So I don't know, for me at least, when I think of like, what are my goals, trying to build a project, it kind of naturally always goes back to, well, I don't want to work for someone else. I kind of want to have that method of self orchestration in sort of the same way that when I'm in the gym, man, I'd rather almost lift, 9 days out of 10 than be part of like an organized event. Because if I'm in there, I'm by myself, my own sort of routine. If I succeed or fail, I know it's 100% kind of in my domain. Like it was, a direct result of whatever I kind of planned out, right? Nothing to do with, I don't know, someone else's routine, someone else's, you know, decision making. I mean, team sports are great, but I've always kind of gravitated more towards individual sports, individual activities, right? Art, graphic design. Even when I've wrestled, wrestling is in a lot of ways an individual activity. It's very mental. It's very, mano y mano kind of. It's just you and the other guy. And, when you're in the gym, it's also kind of you and the other guy, with the other guy is you, right? And every day waking up early, doing cardio, freaking pushing hard, leg days, upper days. It's always you and you. And whether you lose or you win, or at the end of the day you learn, because that's all we can freaking do, right? What was up to do, up to you fully, what you gained or lost from that experience. And that's kind of, to me, in a way, a bit magical, a bit awesome. So, not going to be yapping too much, but that's my kind of thoughts on that. I think I'm going to try and build a bit more of this business when I get back. But either way, hey, if you learn something, I don't know, I feel like I learned a little bit something about myself, yapping all that out, so that's why I'm doing it. But either way, I'll see you guys in the next freaking video, hopefully soon. Peace.